Hello everyone, and thank you very much for tuning into this video. In case you don't know, Gav has fallen ill. He published a video this morning saying that he's not going to upload any videos for a few days because he's got the flu. I am Mr. Burns. I'm sure some of you know me from I comment quite a lot on Gav's Weather Vids videos, and I thought when I saw Gav's videos this morning, why don't I make my own temporary Gav's Weather Vids channel and do the videos until Gav's gets better. So I've made my own little Gav's Weather Vids channel. So if you're confused about why there's maybe two channels, that's the reason why. So I will be uploading videos to this channel. I might also email this video to Gav so that he can upload it onto his channel if he wishes, but it will probably just be on this channel because I haven't he hasn't got back to me yet about that. Yeah, I've always fancied doing my own weather videos. I have done my own weather videos on the Mr. Burns channel, so feel free to check them out on my channel, Mr. Burns. Yeah. So anyway, it's me, Mr. Burns, filling in for Gav, so let's get on with it. So it's so this is going to be the week to 10 weather video, by the way. So it's, as you probably know, it's quite an unsettled afternoon. We've got showers or longer spells of rain coming through in quite a lot of places, a few sunny spells as well, and it's also quite mild. If we have a look at the wind, it's also quite a windy afternoon with wind speeds of around 15, 20, 25 miles an hour, up to around 35 miles an hour in some places. So yeah, for example, St Catherine's Point on the Isle of Wight, 35 to 44 miles an hour. So we've got these brisk west to northwesterly winds coming in through the country, bringing lots of showers with them. It's also quite a mild afternoon out there, with temperatures around between 6 and 13 degrees across the UK. So if you look at our mildest temperatures, they're down in the south and southeast. So we've got Southend-on-Sea at 13 degrees, London City Airport at 13 degrees, and Southampton at 13 degrees. We've also got Bournemouth at 12 degrees. We've got Newquay in Cornwall at 11 degrees. We have got, it's a bit cooler in Wales, around sort of 8, 9, 10 degrees there. Into East Anglia, 12 degrees in Norwich, 10 degrees at Leconfield, 9 degrees at Flyingdale, so just get a bit cooler. It is starting to cool off as the cold front is moving through, so only 8 degrees at Bingley, for example, 9 degrees at Manchester Airport, 7 degrees at Warcop, 9 degrees at Chatterhall. If we have a look at our lowest temperatures, we have got Kirkwall Airport right up north on the Shetland Islands at around 6 degrees. So Stornoway's at 7 degrees. So it is cool, a lot cooler. It's a lot colder up in the north, but much milder down in the south and southeast. So next we're going to have a look at the AO and NAO forecast. So the black line here is where the NAO has been, and the red lines are the ensamples telling us where the NAO is forecast to go. So at the moment, over the last few months, we've been a bit up and down with the AO. We have been quite negative with the AO throughout November. We are are quite positive at the moment. We're forecast to remain positive with the AO as well, possibly going back towards neutral in the very extended range. But again, that's in extended range, so it's subject to some uncertainty. NAO is very similar, so we've been a bit up and down with the NAO over the past few months, with some periods of above average and below average spells with the NAO. At the moment we are again above average with the NAO, and the NAO and samples are forecasting the NAO to stay above average. Again, just a hint that we might be dropping a bit closer to average in the extended range, but that is quite unreliable. Next up, we've got the ECM and GFS height anomalies for the next week. So the ECMWF is on the left and the GFS is on the right. It's a bit different to Gav's videos where the GFS is on the top and the ECM is on the bottom. It's just done it in a different way when it just displayed it in a different way when I loaded it up on my computer. But anyway, it's basically the same. So this is showing the 500 millibar height anomalies. 500 millibars is an area in the atmosphere around 18,000 feet. High pressure and low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream running above. So the ECM is showing low pressure over and to the north of the country, with high pressure, the Azores high, down to the south, and the winds are going to be sort of west to northwesterly like that. GFS is very similar, so again we've got the low pressure over and to the north of the country. The Azores high is there, but it's a bit sort of further away than us than it usually would be, and again we're bringing through the westerly winds, so you'd expect it to be quite unsettled, wet and windy, but temperatures probably relatively mild. Next we're going to have a look at the wetter central graphs. So we're going to have a look at Burnley today. These are depicting the upper air temperatures, not the surface temperatures, but they give an indication of what the surface temperatures will be. So let's just change the colour. So the red line here is showing the 30-year upper air temperature average. We're looking at Burnley today, by the way, because that's Burnley in Lancashire, because that's near where I live. So we are above average at the moment. We have got some warmer and cooler sectors alternating with each other, so we call this a zonal sine wave. We've got warmer and cooler sectors alternating with one another. So going to be a bit up and down with the temperature, and that's going to continue really, so quite up and down with the temperature. We have got a lot of scatter, we've got in the extended range, so we've got some ensemble members here which are very mild, but also some ensemble members here which are quite cold. Precipitation, so we've got some rain or showers coming up in the next few days, but as we go further and further into December, it looks to just be turning more and more unsettled. It looks like we've got an absolute deluge of rubber coming up with all these precipitation spikes, so it looks like a real deluge coming up, and I would think that is fairly representative of other parts of the country as well. So lots of rain coming up, if this is right, going into the middle and possibly even later stages of December as well. Just check we're still recording. Yep, we're still recording. Now, I'm going to show you the surface temperatures. So Gav doesn't normally show you these, but I just thought I'd show you them for this video. So these are quite interesting. So these are the surface temperatures for Burnley. So as you can see, it's quite mild at the moment, temperatures in the upper single digits. Going to drop away a little bit over the weekend and into next week, and we're hovering around sort of 5 degrees and sort of the lower single digits going into the middle of December, so not overly mild, but of course that's just the average. So it could get quite mild during the day, maybe possibly up to around 10 degrees, but by night it could be quite cold, possibly down to or even a bit below 0 degrees by night. And precipitation, well, we've just had a look at that, haven't we? Just have a quick drink of water. Right, next we're going to have a look at the 10-day temperature anomalies. So this is taking us from Friday the 6th of December to Saturday the 14th of December. We're coming out a little bit above average in the UK and Ireland, and that's representative of many parts of Europe as well, also coming out milder than average. Looks very mild into parts of Russia. Temperature anomalies there coming out around 8 to 10 degrees above average. The only really colder than average temperature anomalies are coming are for Iceland and some parts of Norway. Precipitation anomalies, it's looking wetter than average as well. So the drier than average temperature anomalies are in the southern parts of Europe, but looks quite wet in northern and western parts of Europe. So it looks like a mild but also a wet week coming up. Next we're going to have a look at the GFS model. So this is today's synoptic pressure chart. So we're bringing in this showery and windy northwesterly flow. Into Saturday, the westerlies come through, and it will be turning increasingly windy. Into Sunday, wet and windy weather, especially in the north, could be a bit dry in the south. Looks very windy for Sunday. That'll be bringing further showers through, possibly gale force winds into Sunday night. And then that clears away, and we go into this. We turn the winds into the north for Monday, so that's bringing down further showers and colder air. So we could be bringing wintry showers down into the north on Monday. Doesn't last for long though. Into Tuesday we start to bring in milder air from off the Atlantic, so start looking on Tuesday, looking quite windy, bringing through the wind initially from the southwest, but then we go into sort of the wind turns more northwesterly as we go later into Tuesday. So again, winds coming down from sort of the northwest, probably not overly mild, but the main thing is it's going to be very wet and windy through this week, with low pressure never far away. Into Thursday, we've got an area of low pressure 964 millibars just to the northwest of Scotland, so that's bringing more wet and windy weather to many parts of the UK. We're also bringing down quite chilly air from around the top of this low pressure as well. And into Friday, it just looks like a case of showers along with spells of rain, and don't rule out the chance of some wintry weather up in the north as we're bringing down quite cold air from the north around the top of that low pressure. Into Saturday the 14th of December, and it still looks unsettled really. Winds from the westerly to northwesterly direction, so not overly mild, not overly cold, but the main thing is just lots of wet and windy weather into next weekend. This is the ECM charts. These are coming from these charts are coming from Net Weather TV, by the way, and we can only go through Slightly lower resolution on this chart, so we can only go through day by day, but again into Saturday, winds turn into the west, dries out a bit on Saturday. Into Sunday though, it turns wet and windy again with gale force winds possible. Into Monday we're bringing down this cold northwesterly to northerly flow. Into Tuesday, bringing up milder air from the southwest. Wednesday turns wet and windy again. Winds turn to a northwesterly direction, so it turns colder for Wednesday. Thursday back to more westerly winds, turns a bit milder but still quite unsettled. Isobars open out a bit, so turning a little bit less windy as well. And into next weekend still looks quite unsettled with the winds coming in from a west to northwesterly direction. Now I'm going to show you the Tometeo ECMWF precipitation forecast. So today we've got showers or longer spells of rain coming through. The time's up there by the way into Saturday nights. These should clear away, and in any clear skies temperatures will drop quite cold. Through Saturday we've got more wet weather coming in from the north, so it will turn cloudy and wet for many parts of Scotland, especially northwestern parts of Scotland, and this rain spreads over much of the country into Sunday night and Sunday morning. Sunday morning looks quite a wet day to start off with, and through the day we'll have further showers in the west. Into Monday we bring the winds turn into the north, and we'll have further showers. Don't rule out the chance of these turning wintry in the north and over higher ground. Through Monday itself it should be quite dry but quite cold in that northerly wind. Into Tuesday looks quite dry into Tuesday to start off with, but then we've got more rain or showers moving into the west. So it looks, and by Tuesday night looks quite wet for all of us, especially up in the north and west. Looks really wet for northern and western parts of Scotland, by the way. You could be in for a real deluge this week. Into Wednesday looks to be drying out, so away from the north and west doesn't look too bad for wet weather. Looks fairly dry for most of us. But then into Thursday the 12th looks quite dry away from the north and west. So looks to be quite dry for election day, at least initially anyway, but as you can see, as we go into sort of 6 PM on election day, we've got more wet weather moving into the west. That clears away to leave a dry night and dry on Friday morning before more showers move in from the west, and more showers moving into the north and west for Saturday. So it's looking very, very unsettled period, especially in the north and west. Expect showers or longer spells of rain. Just a very changeable period of weather, really. Before we go, just going to have a look at the CFS height and temperature and precipitation anomalies. So this is how it's looking for week 1 from the CFS. So we've got, you might need to turn your head a bit sideways because it's the charts looks a bit different from what from how Gav does it. Let's just rotate that a little bit. There we go. I think that's how Gav does it. So now we're the right way around. So we've got low pressure over and to the north of the country, high pressure down to our southwest, and the wind's coming down like that, so probably not overly mild on the colder side of the jet stream. If anything, could be cooling down some chilly winds from the north at times with that, and quite unsettled as well. Oops, let's go to week 2. So this is how week 2 is looking for the height anomaly from the CFS. So again, let's rotate this. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not very This is the first time I've done these week to 10 day weather videos, so we've got low pressure over and to the north of the UK, high pressure down to our southwest. The Azores high is there, but it's a bit further away from us. Winds are coming through like that from a west to northwesterly direction, so it's still looking very unsettled into the middle of December. Weeks 3 and 4. So again, the unsettled theme continues with the westerly winds coming through, low pressure never far away. It's week. So, oops, sorry, that's week 3, isn't it? Yes. So, yeah, weeks 3 also looking very unsettled, and weeks 4 also looking very unsettled as well. So it looks like a very wet December coming up according to the CFS. Let's have a look at the week 1 temperature anomalies. So week 1 is coming out milder than average, quite substantially so for the UK and many parts of Europe. Week 2 also coming out milder than average, perhaps not quite as mild as week 2, a bit closer to average up in northern areas, for example. Week 3 temperature anomalies also coming out milder than average, a bit closer to average for Ireland though. And week 4 temperature anomalies also coming out milder than average. Week 1 precipitation anomalies coming out wetter than average, significantly so. Week 2 precipitation anomalies also coming out wetter than average. Week 3 precipitation anomalies coming out wetter than average, and week 4 precipitation anomalies also coming out wetter than average. This is looking like a very mild but also very wet period according to the CFS. And I just thought I'd show you this for a change. Gav doesn't normally show you this, but these are the mean wind directions. So you can see the winds coming down from the west to northwesterly direction for the next week, and again winds coming from sort of a west to northwesterly direction for week 2. Again, week 3 winds coming from a west to northwesterly direction. We're in the top right hand corner of the chart, by the way. And for week 4, winds coming in from a west to northwesterly direction as well. So I think the CFS could be going a little bit over the top with the temperature anomalies, as it often does, with the winds coming in from the west to northwest. It'll still be very relatively mild, but could be cooling down some cooler winds from the north at times, as we saw on the GFS and ECM charts. So perhaps not overly mild. Perhaps temperature anomalies around sort of average, slightly milder than average, I would guess. But overall, this is a very Atlantic-driven period, so it looks wet and windy. Plenty of wet and windy weather coming up certainly for the next week to 10 days anyway. Atlantic looks to be going nowhere fast, and could be a few wintry showers up in the north at times, but overall I think just generally quite wet and windy, and temperatures not too far from average. If you enjoyed this video, please consider okay, not sure what that's about. If you enjoyed this video, please consider becoming a Patreon for Gav. Probably shouldn't really be promoting this because it's not my video, but if you enjoyed this video, please head over to Gav's Weathervids Patreon page at patreon.com/GavsWeathervids. Links will be in the description. He's currently got 64 patrons, and he's currently making $284 per month. So you can sign up to become a patron if you want. Alternatively, you can give a one-off donation by donating to PayPal. Just go to paypal.me/GavsWeathervids. And to keep up with the latest weather news, and also to chat with Gav's Weathervids on the website, and for the blog and everything else, just go to www.gavsweathervids.com. And that's it. That's all I have to go through. I hope you enjoyed today's week to 10-day video. I understand the quality might not be as good as Gav's with its normal videos, because I'm not used to doing these videos, but I just thought this would be a nice thing to do, seeing as Gav is ill, and my video is better than no video, so yeah, so please stay tuned, because I'm planning to do also planning to do a JMA Friday video where we compare the JMA and CFS 500 millibar height anomalies for the next 4 weeks, so that should hopefully be coming up later this afternoon. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, see you soon.